But then also, once we got here, as you can imagine, those businesses did really well. They did okay, but they weren't Modern Black Girl.
Right.
Nor was I responsible for actually hiring a full team that I managed. I have to create the rules for, that I have to set the tone for, right? There was already systems in place that I just kind of followed. But with Modern Black Girl, what do you want? What do you want it to feel? What is your company culture? What are these things? I had to kind of set that in place.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to New Money, where we talk to movers and shakers about how they made it. I'm your host, Rosemarie Miller, here with Tiffany James, the founder and CEO of Modern Black Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today, Tiffany.
Thank you for having me.
So, Tiffany, you started Modern Black Girl, but before that even happened, you turned $10,000 into $2 million in about 2 years.
Yeah.
How did all of this happen, and where's that money now?
Okay, well, we're just jumping right into it.
We're jumping in.
It really started with amazing mentors in the finance and just entrepreneur space, seeing my gifts and what I'm really good at when it comes to just like money and building and just looking at brands build. It's always been a passion of mine. And a mentor at the time told me to invest into Tesla. Made a lot of money from that, and I took that initial earnings to really go full throttle in stocks and investing. And in about 2 years, it started off with 5,000, grew it to about 17,000, made tons of mistakes. Then it came back down. I was like, I'm going to put another 5,000. I'm going to bet more on myself. Like, okay, we did 5. Let's put another 5 in that. And we had $10,000, and within 2 years, it grew to about 2 million, and now that same account is about 7 million strong.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Yes.
So wait, there was no moment where you were like, let me take some money out, or you just said, okay, I want to watch it keep growing?
Oh, no, you definitely took some money out.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, not that much. I would say about 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But
so take us back a little bit further.
yes.
What was your childhood like, and what was your relationship with money growing up?
Yeah, of course. So I didn't really have a relationship with money, nor did I really see it within my family. I have 2 immigrant parents. Mom's Jamaican, dad is Haitian. Both came to Brooklyn, had a Brooklyn love story, 2 Caribbean folks coming together and having little old me. My dad was a taxi driver. He had a taxi driving company at that time, and Uber completely slaughtered his business when Uber became a thing, because no one took local cabs anymore. So that was a really big struggle with him, and he didn't really save much. So we saw our quality of life kind of really come down, and he had kids and all the things. So that was a struggle time for me, because watching my dad kind of struggle after having a business for a long time, where he had a cab business since the 80s, and now we're in early 2000s when he started to see the emergence of Uber, and he's like, I don't really have anything to show for it. Like, I have to regroup, and he's now in his 60s. It was really hard to watch, especially my dad being my superhero. I actually never really fully talked about that, and how Uber really disturbed a lot of Black and brown, like, independent businesses. I think we only think about just like yellow cabs, but I don't think we talk about enough how Uber really affected like the local mom and pop like cab services.
Yeah.
But definitely felt that. So money was one of those things where it's like, wow, Dad, like, you don't have much to show for it. But I don't blame him. He didn't know much. The Lord knows. I don't know if I can even tell the story of how my dad got here from Haiti, but just know he's here, and he belongs here now. But I can't say if he always did. And then my mom just took care of babies and kids all her life, and same thing where there was a relationship with money, but living in New York is really difficult, especially if you want to build and get a house and a home.
Right.
So I never really had experiences with money or knowing how to build, and it was one of those things where life kind of just taught me. I've always been a girl that explored different topics, many different things. I mean, I have a degree in computer science, but before Modern Black Girl, I worked in fashion and media and hospitality. So I've always just been someone to just explore different things or whatever sits well with me.
Well, Tiffany, do you believe that you are living in your purpose right now?
1,000%. 1,000%. And it found me. Because when I think about my life, and what I do with Modern Black Girl. You know, Modern Black Girl started as a community-based business that works with women and building community. I grew up around a lot of impactful, influential women in my life, with my mom and my aunts, and you know, I've always had so many women around me, and my relationship with women has always been quite interesting. So to now serve women, you know, I feel like it's a full circle moment where I've always kind of had to be a leader for myself, and now I'm leading other women. So I one day I'll fully tell that relationship, because I think it's really intriguing when you ask about purpose, where I feel like my life experiences have been, you know, getting me ready for this moment now, which is me being a CEO and founder of Modern Black Girl. And I'm definitely walking in my purpose.
So what was going through your head before you decided to launch Modern Black Girl?
Yeah, because if you guys know the beginning story, I had no idea I was going to start Modern Black Girl at all. Wasn't a part of, was not, I like to say this, wasn't on my bingo card for my life at all. But the community chose me, you know. Before that, I always tell the story where I wanted to start a luxury candle line and fragrance. If there's one thing, I always smell great. And I love fragrances. So I wanted to just have a luxury fragrance line that talked to like these different client profiles that I built in my life. I built around just like different women around the world. And I wanted to create a line and a fragrance line for that. But Clubhouse started talking about finance. People loved me talking about finance, and they were like, you should start something. And I'm like, well, you know, I got to meet with my chemist and with my fragrance lines, but I guess in between I could teach you guys something here and there. And the first time we taught, myself and my partner at the time, the first time I taught a class, we set up for 50 people and 500 women showed up. Yeah. So it's like, okay. And then the next time 1,000, and the next time 2,000. And literally that's how I know I was in my purpose. You'll know you're in your purpose when things are not too hard, or anything in your life that's meant for you. It's not going to be too hard. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges and struggles, but the doors will just open for you. And that's what Modern Black Girl was. And that's how I knew I was walking in purpose. So we started the brand November 2020. By February 2021, we already had 125,000 women that we were servicing.
So wait, first of all, I do agree with you that you know you're in your purpose when things are not too hard. I had to point that out.
Yeah.
But what do you mean by you taught a class? Was this class on Clubhouse? Was this class in No, it couldn't have been. It was COVID, right?
Yeah.
So
It was on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
of course. So Clubhouse, you guys remember that app, was an audio-based app during COVID. And literally, I would get on stage, me and a COO of the company, we would literally go on stage, and people would literally have to write down. Like, I had notes, and I would read from the notes and say, all right, guys, so the S&P 500 is this. And, like, actually say it, and people would write down the notes. It's so funny because till this day, people would be like, hey, Tiff, I have these notes from when you taught. Very old school, right? And then eventually, we started to see the decline of Clubhouse, and the movement was so much bigger than the app. We're like, we can't stop this now. So we were able to take it off of Clubhouse, start this brand. I remember going on like GoDaddy.com and like, we're going to name it Modern Black Girl. You know, a lot of my brands are like modern this, modern that, other things I've started. So it was really on brand. And because Black women really propelled my confidence level to get to where we are now, it's just like, let's call it Modern Black Girl, you know?
Yeah.
So in that moment, it just naturally kind of made sense for me to get to this point. And we started a website, linked it to a Calendly with a Zoom. And from there, we had free classes. And then eventually it was like, okay, let's put a small pay tag. And actually, no, let's actually make this a business. Let's actually put tangible things and let's make goals for it and like make it a business. And that's how it started. And then we hired the people that we needed. And a lot of the times, like actually everyone that works for Modern Black Girl right now is a Modern Black Girl.
Yeah.
They started within the community. They were able to use their skills that they've had outside of Modern Black Girl, quit their jobs, and now they work with us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of like, oh, we quit. We don't want to work here anymore. We want to work with you guys. Or our last hire of the company, she made so much money that she quit her job and she's just like, I'm actually bored.